As a wolf, I listened to what the so-called true believers were saying through one of the windows of the sanctuary. Greetings, brethren. I call to order this extraordinary general meeting of the secret cabal of the true believers of Anu Anu.
You smell nice tonight, boss.
What?
What is that? KC2?
What are you blathering about, Foyd? Anyway, I see we're all present.
Therma not present, boss.
Therma has to keep a low profile at the moment. Do not concern yourselves with her absence.
Why should Therma have such special status? I have important business of my own to be doing, and these interruptions aid no one.
Quiet, satrap. Mooncalf wouldn't have called us together if it wasn't important.
Indeed not. There is an investigator, a Mr. Lewton, who's been asking worrying questions. I think he may know about Nylon Ethertep. I do now.
I still say this is madness. There must be a better way to glorify our beloved Anu Anu without taking such risks.
You always were the spineless one, Coombe.
Silence, Kondo. As chairman, I will not permit such disputes when the meeting of true believers has just been called to order.
When can we have a dispute?
It can wait until we reach any other business. Damn. Shh. What is it?
I heard something outside.
They say bravery is what tells the men from the boys. Well, I was a wolf, so I figured I could be brave and still run away.
Mooncalf's cultists had mentioned Nylon Ethertep, but at first I didn't know what it meant.
Who would Sir like to see this time?
I'd like to use the library again.
Very well. I will show Sir the way, since it seems the labyrinthine corridors of this vast edifice are beyond Sir's meager navigational skills.
The Necrotelecomnicon was a book that legend spoke of, saying that any mortal man who read it would be driven insane. I learnt about it from a copy of Necrotelecomnicon discussed for students with practical experiments that I found in the library. In this tome there is a description of the old dark gods of the Disc, including the terrible laddering holler, Nylon Ethertep. Apparently, Nylon Ethertep was once summoned by a series of 8 murders, forming a perfect octagram, focused at the center of the Circle C, thus releasing it from the sunken city of Leshp, where he was trapped, along with drunken Cthulhu Bapalulu. The book speculated about the whereabouts of Nylon Ethertep now, but beyond him being safely imprisoned somewhere around the Circle C, it drew no conclusions. I looked up the octagram of murders in the library, but I could only find the entry I'd already seen in Necrotelecomnicon discussed for students. I couldn't honestly tell if there was a connection.
Who would Sir like to see this time?
I'd like to see Carlotta. Is she home?
I will go and announce your presence, and she will tell me if she is.
You can't keep yourself away from me, can you, Lewton?
I just wanted to ask some more questions. What do you make of this perfume?
I'm sure you can think of something better to ask me, Lewton.
Until I was sure I could trust her, there were some things I didn't want to discuss with Carlotta. And frankly, I wondered if I'd ever really trust her. Does an octagram of murders mean anything to you?
An octagram of murders? No. Should it? I mean, it's something magical, obviously. But other than that...
Why is it obviously magical?
Well, 8. It has occult significance, doesn't it?
Does it? How do you know that?
When you marry into the von Überwalds, you learn about these things.
Why?
There is a lot of occult goings-on in Überwald. It's the national pastime.
What else do you know about the number 8?
It goes between 7 and 9?
Don't play dumb with me.
What would you like me to play?
I meant about the occult significance of the number 8.
Well, I'm no expert.
Anything might be useful.
You think the occult is involved in this case somehow?
I'm convinced of it. I think it's something to do with Nylon Ethatep, the laddering horror.
The laddering horror?
A creature from the dungeon dimensions.
Well, I understand there's something about the harmonics of the number that is attractive to the denizens of the dungeon dimensions. But that's all I know, really.
I'll be in touch.
I'll be waiting.